Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope everybody is doing well and having a great day as usual. So it seems that Casper was actually a really huge topic during the DevCon 3 event that Ethereum threw, Casper being Ethereum's proof of stake protocol. So there's been a lot of discussion, a lot of people talking about just how unsafe the proof of work mining is to the environment. There's been a lot of articles, I'm sure you can find them online as well, because people who are pretty much mining or who are using proof of work mining use a large amount of electricity nearly all the time, all day with their mining rigs, especially if you have ever seen like Genesis mining videos. There are other people who have them up, and you know, it takes a lot. Their entire factories in China, I don't know if they're still around because of the entire ban, but it takes a lot of work and a lot of electricity in order to get this going. So a lot of people think that in order to move to the other side of it, to make something a lot safer for the environment, that proof of stake mining is the ultimate solution. There was a researcher from Cornell University who said at the event that Bitcoin's system for keeping the network in sync, which is the mining the way that they do it, is actually putting us at the mercy of hardware, and that the technology is almost completely out of our hands because it's getting out of control. Was raised a few eyebrows about Ethereum's Casper protocol is that instead of having to buy a supercomputer or having to buy new hardware to mine, Casper would actually allow people to simply set their coins aside, and I think you actually have to lock it into the network for a certain amount of time. This would allow the network to then do the calculations that are needed to validate transactions on the network, which is pretty much great. If you guys have ever used proof of stake mining before for other coins, there are a lot of proof of stake coins who kind of do it a different way. You normally have to have your wallet on your computer open around like 24/7. Like if you close it, you kind of miss staking rewards sometimes, but you usually have to have it open. So I think the point of this is to try and move away from this, because you'll lock up your coins into a system that the network would then be able to validate. So another really interesting thing about this is that the lockup process of Ethereum would also create a shortage of coins kind of moving around. It would essentially think about it this way. So the more you put in, the more then you'll get back from the mining. But in this way, you're kind of incentivized not to move your coins around, because you want to have your coins in there for as long as possible to get the most out of the mining. And this is kind of how a shortened supply will then actually come into play when people are trying to buy Ethereum. And a lot of people think that this will be a huge factor in what causes the price to rise, as there will be a shortage of what people are able to get. So there was a panel discussion, and nearly everyone, as they were talking about Casper, every single person who spoke and who was present, even a lot of Ethereum's developers, they all kept on coming up and saying that Casper really needs to happen at this point, or as quickly as possible, without making any mistakes. So currently it seems that there are actually two versions of Casper that are actually being in development. One is by Vitalik and another one is by another developer called Zamfir. Both differ slightly. They obviously have the same end conclusion on how they want to do it, but it appears that Buterin's version is actually slightly less complex. He says that he wants to do it as simplified as possible just to get it done, while Zamfir would like to create a more of a zigzag structure for the networks. He says that this will be able to make the network even quicker than they thought before. Either way, it's something that everybody's looking forward to, and hopefully we should be seeing it soon. So up next is news about Swarm that we've gotten from DevCon. Swarm being the decentralized storage branch of the Ethereum network, which has notably entered into its third proof of concept stage. So one of the head developers behind Swarm, his name is Victor Tron, like the movie, which is an awesome last name, stated that the proof of concept is now actually fully compatible with Ethereum's client, Geth and Whisper, which he says brings Ethereum closer to its, he said, its holy trinity vision. That is where all three systems form a complete alternative to the World Wide Web. Those are his words, and that is a very strong statement, especially if it is true. So during the discussions, Tron made sure to note exactly how Swarm would fit into Ethereum, saying that it would work kind of a bit like Dropbox and would actually give users the ability to store content, create, and to share all on the platform. Also of note is that the proof of concept is now testing a brand new privacy layer, which he says will keep Ethereum resistant from authorities. This is, like I said, is going to be a really big thing as we move forward with all the coins, especially as not so much taxation, but when governments are trying to finally get control of all these things, everyone's trying to put these privacy things into effect. So yeah, this is what he said, and I quote, If you operated on Swarm, there's no way for a jurisdiction to take that down because it's this obfuscation method. Nodes can plausibly deny that they have the content. This is a very important feature because it's censorship resistant, basically, end quote. Up next is even that Swarm is supposed to be given a type of stress test to see exactly how it reacts once it's given tens of thousands of nodes. At this point, there's no exact date for when Swarm will be coming out, but it's expected to launch a bit after DevCon 3, which I think has ended or is ending tomorrow. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming up for Ethereum, which is always exciting. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are having a great day. That is going to do it for this video. Yeah, I'll talk to you all soon. See you.